beloveds. Welcome, welcome. This is my first live in 15 years. And so if you have been following me on YouTube, you know that I began my YouTube, I think back in 2010. And so what a gift and honor it is for me to now have my first live. And so today we're diving into not only this Cancer new moon energy that is all about all I am and what I do, but also the energetics of astrology and how you can use this energy to not only harness the energy of your birth chart, but really learn how to not only connect to the cosmic consciousness within you, but the cosmic energies around us. And so let's dive in. So we're going to talk about the energetics of astrology as well as your she stars. Now, there are quite a few, but I'm only going to be mentioning 2 or 3 of them. And why? Because there's such extensive work there, and I want to invite you into something where we can dive in and really look at your chart and human design and so much more. So let's dive in. What is the energetics of astrology? Why am I talking about this now? What is the significance with this Cancer new moon? Well, first of all, it is a huge reset. It's the only new moon of Cancer for the whole year, I know, as a Cancer. And so this energy is all about us healing. And because it is in this first decan of the Cancer vibration, remember, Cancer just shifted in on Friday on the 21st. So we're in the first decan. In Egyptian astrology and the ancient Kemetic, decans were the first ways that our ancestors practiced astrology. The Greeks then took it to the houses and did all of that. And again, different conversation. However, what I want to share about us being in the first decan of Cancer, what this energy is really about that. Imagine with the decans, there's 3. There's the first, the middle, and the end. And so that 0 to like 25 degrees, or no, I can't say 0 to 25, 0 to 10 degrees of Cancer is the first decan. So this is like the baby. The second week of Cancer, which starts then on the 1st, then to about the 15th, 16th, actually, no, I take that back. About the 14th, because it is about a 10 to 11, 12 day, depending on the moon. So that second decan starts on July 1st. And that energy is like that middle child. And then the final child is the last decan. That is my birthday season. And if you watched, I did a video last year about the difference between June Cancers and July Cancers. And this is the same for all of us in astrology. Why? Because of the decans, they bring up different energies. So like I said, the first week is like the baby. Second week is the middle child. The third week is the adult, or the grown up. And so this first decan, this is why we are having to really tap into our intuitive intelligence, our emotional intelligence. We're seeing this out in the world. We are wanting to be softer, gentler, kinder to each other because it no longer feels good to not be. And so this Cancer energy with this Jupiter expansion, there's no better time for us to be doing this than now, especially with what's going on out there in the world. And so this is teaching us, beloveds, to tap into our intuition, to tap into our emotional intelligence, and to move out of our headspace. It's because the headspace, the ego self, has been running the show, and many of us are tired of that. We're seeing that with the cancel of the celebrity culture. I just read, just briefly, and I'm not trying to get into any gossip or any chisme at all, but I saw, and I just want to talk about it just for a second. This is why I saw in Italy, they did not welcome the wedding of the owner of Amazon. That town where they had planned their lush wedding said, no, you are not welcome here. We're seeing the backlash of celebrities, and celebrities having to, really pay attention to what they say, how they say it. And this isn't that political. This is us, the people. We are being connected to our intuitive self. And we're like, this doesn't feel good anymore. Remember, Cancer is the feel. It's number 4, the 4th house. This is home. And because it is the child in this energy, in this first decan, this energy we're feeling is, I need my mother, I need my comfort, I need to heal the mother wounds. Remember, you can check that mother wound, cutting the cord video, one of the most popular videos that I have. This is a perfect time to do that, a perfect time to do that. And so I hope I am doing this right. It shows that I'm live. I don't see any chat or anything because this is new for me. So I hope that I am getting it and that you guys are seeing me. Or I hope so. If you could give me a thumbs up or something. Again, this is my first time doing this, so I don't really know if it is how it's going. So I'm just gonna keep going and hoping that it's working out. And so that's why this Cancer new moon energy is so important for us now, because this not only is just a new moon, no, beloveds, this is the beginning of a new cycle and a new season for so many of us. And so let me share with you how this is impacting me. As a Cancer, with my moon, my sun, and my rising are all in Cancer. And then my Venus is also in Cancer in the 12th house. So I have a stack of Cancer. This is what makes me super psychic. This is what makes me so intuitive and connected, and why I must retreat sometimes and come into what I call my crystal cave to get away from the world, because I take on a lot. With all of that Cancer, I feel things. This is what makes me super psychic and intuitive as well. And so when we talk about the energetics of astrology, that's what I want to share with you. So when I'm like, you know, people, oh, you're so sensitive. I cannot help who I am. And because it's in my first house, this is like, again, the young energy of all that Cancer. But because it's at the end, it's at the 29th and 28th degree. Now, this is all advanced astrology. It is the most mature level of Cancer in my first house, but it's still ruled in that Aries energy. So when you start to layer all these different things, this is truly how you understand that. And the astrology is not just about your birth chart. There are energetics to it. This is why when we work with the moon energy, what are we working with? We are working with the energy. And the moon is our cosmic mirror. It is our sacred sire. It is our true crystal ball. And this is why it moves the tides. We can feel it. Lunacy, lunatics, all these words were used to describe how people felt during the moon. There are no mistakes about that. So the energetics around the moon is it's powerful and it controls our emotions. That one we know. The sun, we know that means we want to shine, we want to be seen, it's our personality. But when we start to layer those things, and that's why when you feel your chart, you don't just read it, you can become a part of it. And so what I like to say, and what I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more today, is your chart just is, it's not just a snapshot, it's a sound, it's a pulse. It's a sacred current moving through you. I could not have learned to be as psychic as I am. It came through truly the energetics of my astrology. And that's why I want you to know the energetics of yours. So let's talk about the moon first, because again, today is the Cancer new moon. And so I'm going to share a little bit of body astrology, because when we talk about the energetics, we're talking about the body. And how I learn and understand the moon for myself is the moon is the body. And so when we talk about the Cancer moon body, what we're talking about is the stomach. This is the mother, that nurturing energy. We're talking about the stomach. We're talking about the the gums, we're talking about mucous membranes, we're talking about, again, the lower esophagus, how we digest food. We're talking about the chest, the shoulders, talking about the breasts, as I said, the stomach, the gallbladder. We're talking about all the things. Think about a crab. In ancient Egypt, it was the scarab, but again, the soft bottom, but hard shell. And so this is also anything in the diaphragm, again, just the flesh part of the belly. And so this is the sacral chakra, the root chakra, and then the belly chakra. And so the bladder, the uterus, the flesh here, all of this is connected to Cancer. And so when we start to feel this energy, when we feel it inside, this is how you know the energetics are connecting with us. So when we think about, again, with Cancer and why this new moon is so important, this is because Cancer is the basic needs. As we think of mother, what is that? Comfort, a home, what do athletes, I made it, mom, they always say that energy because this is the basic needs, the food, the air, the shelter, safety, and love. And so the body reflects all of that. And so this is why when we are working with the Cancer energy, we're really working with the center of ourselves, because if any harm comes to any of the center stuff, we know the head stuff, but any of the center stuff, we know if anything comes there, it's very serious, because again, it's the center of us. So think of the Cancer energy as the center of us as we talk about this energetic. So we think about the center of us, layer one, the body. Then we're going to bring the moon energy and shine on that body in that place. So the moon energy, the planetary energy is coming down from up here, and then we're bringing in the energy here connected to water. And so we bring in the element, we bring in the energy from up here, and we bring in the energy that's coming in. A lot of times I say that this is the human design and this is the astrology. And so when we put these layer upon layer upon layer, this is how you get your soul chart. This is why chart and soul astrology was born, because it's not just what's in your chart. There is a sound, a frequency that you have, because those planets are each playing. If we were all Cancers, beloved, we would have no war. It would be love, kumbaya, but we're not. And so we need to learn to play the music of our astrology. I don't know where that analogy came from, but I see astrology in our birth chart truly as a frequency, because each planet has its own frequency. And this is what the energetic. So you don't just read your chart, you feel it, you become it. And so the she stars that I like to work with the most, I already mentioned the first one, is the moon. The moon is my guide. She is my goddess. She is my connector, most of us. So we know we're already working with the biggest she star there is. Then there is Lilith. I just came out of my Lilith return. And again, if you want to work with me further and understand what Lilith means, and as well as the other she stars that I'll be sharing, that is how we are going to dive in. And so the next one that I work with besides Lilith, and I'll come back to that, is Ceres. Now, Ceres, most of us don't know, and if you were, you can have all the apps in the world, but a lot of the apps don't go beyond Lilith. Some of them don't go beyond Chiron. More are adding Chiron and Lilith now, but they don't go beyond that. So let's talk about, I've talked about the moon. Let's talk a little bit about Lilith, and then I'm going to share a little bit with you about Ceres. Ceres is so amazing, but let me talk about Lilith and continue with this energy of the vibration and the frequency, the energetics around astrology, because my journey started with dreams. I was a dreamer. I was a sleepwalking child. And so when I learned how to read, one of the first things that I wanted to learn how to read was, what was my dreams? I had a reoccurring dream that I drowned as a child. And so when I was a child, I had a reoccurring dream that I drowned. And so as I got older, the first thing I wanted to understand is why. Now, being a Cancer with all that energy of water, having a dream of drowning and sleepwalking as a child, it just, it did so many things to me that I didn't understand. Energetics. So as I got older, I started to understand more that it wasn't just my dreams. It was my body, it was my spirit, it was my mind, how I thought. And so that, beloveds, is truly how chart and soul astrology was created, but there's more to it. Because chart and soul is your birth chart and it's your soul, again, because I get to use all my gifts as a triple, quadruple Cancer, there is also this frequency of Lilith that all of us have, female or male. And this is the same with all of the other she stars that I will be sharing in our immersion experience. And so how I have really started to understand astrology as a mature woman, and I do believe astrology is for mature people. When I see all these young people talking about astrology, most of them haven't even had their solar return yet. And so it's data. It's data, it's what they've learned. I mean, and I know there are some that come through with it already installed. So I am not discrediting anyone, but reading astrology and understanding it comes with maturity, because again, these stars have been burning for a long time. They're mature stars. And so we need our mature understanding. We have to go through the cycle of a Chiron return at 49, 50, in that age range, to heal that wounded healer, to understand what that is. And you don't get to that till 49 or 50. The first Saturn return is at 29, 30. So it's the first time when you have that, like, oh my God, I'm an adult. This really means something. And so that's why I say astrology is for mature people. And so again, not just discrediting it, because when how I look at astrology is through the lens of wellness, because again, those stars have an effect on us. They have an imprint on us. So first, that sense of feeling it and that wellness piece. That wellness piece then is how we are able to connect to our higher self, to our visions, our voice, our vibration. That's how we magnetize, alchemize, and really crystallize things, which is then when we attract, that is how we create our wealth and our prosperity. And so the second pillar that I focus on outside of wellness then is wealth. And I'm not talking about wealth, what you have in the bank, or, I got three, what is it, 6 zeros or triple digits. It's not about the money, beloveds. This is seriously about the energetics. And so the energetics of wealth. Again, you have to be at a frequency of wealth to acquire more. And again, this is why astrology really helps you with that. And this is what I'm going to share with you about Sirius. So just give me one moment. And then the last part is the woo. We know we have to put some work in. We know we have to set intentions. We know we have to wear the colors, do the things. So my 3 pillars that I focus on, that I'm really going to be focusing on this immersive experience that I'm going to invite you to in just a moment, is focusing on the wellness, the wealth, and the woo. And all of this together is what I have created, and that is Cosmicnomics. I am so excited about Cosmicnomics because it really is a blend of you not just reading your chart, but you feeling it, embodying it, and remember the frequency that you came in on. Very much like the fact that I would have sleepwalking dreams as a child that I was drowning, and come into this life with sun, moon, and rising sign in Cancer. There is no, you know what I'm saying? We know there are no coincidences in the universe. So I was meant to be a Cancer, and I was meant to have those dreams. So it would trigger me to remember, it would trigger me to become who I'm meant to become. And so that is what Cosmic Nautics really is. It is about teaching you how your energetic rhythms are, and how they work with the frequencies of the universe and the planets. And so the 2-week immersion experience that I want to share with you is looking at your chart, looking at those wellness pieces. How are you supposed to be in the world? Most of us don't realize that. Again, I didn't know that my placements, some of my Cancer placements, and some of my birth chart placements, this is how I've been able to, what people keep, a youthful appearance. Also, why I rarely get sick. Also, why I love learning. And so all of these different things come together. And so let's dive in really fast. I don't want to keep you longer than I promised, because at the end, I want you to reclaim your, I want to give you a cosmic code, and I want you to join me for this 2-week immersion of Cosmic Nautics. But first, I shared all about the moon, and of course, I will keep talking about the moon, because that is truly how we manifest. And I actually call it lunifesting, because manifesting comes from the mind, it comes from the masculine energy, whereas lunifesting, which is how we attract, how we vibrate with our emotion energetic field, that is how we attract. And so I shared a lot about the moon, and as I shared, we will talk about that more in our 2-week immersion experience. But Lilith is where we claim our self-sovereignty. Now, what is self-sovereignty? It is where you are unapologetically yourself, when you have learned about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your preferences, all of these things that are who you are. She is also our shadow work. She is the one who is going to kick our booty and say, get in line. And so when you have your Lilith return, that 9-month experience, and many people are having theirs depending on where your Lilith is in your chart, and you should find out, because she can grow you or she can blow you up. And so she is about your sovereignty, taking your crown back from wherever it may have been. And it doesn't have to be a person. You could have lost your crown, from life, right? And so this is why then when you layer it with the other she stars, this is truly where the magic happens. And so I just want to share a quick story about how I was introduced to the she stars. So last year, I not only visited Egypt twice, I also went to Mount Shasta, California, which is one of the most magical places and energetic portals in the United States, besides, I know, Sedona. And here in Mexico, there are many energetic vortexes, and that, and I actually live in one now myself. And so, but it wasn't until I spent 2 hours looking up literally at the stars during the Cancer full moon when I was there, because I always plan all my travel around a moon event. And that Mount Shasta trip was planned around the Cancer full moon in September of last year. I believe it was Cancer. I know it was a full moon. Now I want to make sure, because it was in the past. I do believe it was. But what I wanted to say with that, I looked at I looked up at the stars for 2 hours. I didn't move. I didn't go to the bathroom. I literally just wanted to focus on the stars. And I had never done that in Mount Shasta. There's no light, what's the word? No light, what's the word that I'm looking for? That blocks out all the stars. So I saw so many stars, but it was also then that I realized that those 7 stars really do have a frequency for us. And so the one that I really connected to, and what I want to share with you, that goes with our Cancer full moon or Cancer new moon today energy. And then I want to share with you a color astrology, as well as a crystal and my candle for today, and why, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So Ceres is an asteroid, considered again a she star, and she is the she star, say that 3 times fast, of our ancestral healing. And as I shared, this deacon that we're in, this Cancer energy that is here right now, here today, is all about our ancestral healing. It is about our nourishment, and it is about our wealth cycles. Remember, this Jupiter in Cancer cycle, beloveds, is a 12-year cycle. It is not just a year. And so that's why I also wanted to share this with you, because with all this Cancer energy hitting my, yes, pollution. Thank you for that. I could not think of that. And so thank you letting me know too that the chat works. So yes, light pollution. Thank you so much for that, beloved, for sharing that. And I lost my train of thought. So when we put all that energy together, that ancestral healing, that nourishment, and those wealth cycles that we're using right now, and I have all that energy in my chart, this is why I'm saying this is my exalted season, because not only do I have all this Cancer energy and I'm able to use all my gifts at their highest level, I am able to share that with you. And that's why, even though this is a new moon and Spirit was, Spirit told me this was the day I meant to do this. And so this is why I'm wearing purple. I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. But Ceres, her energy is very Cancerian, and she wants us to have this ancestral healing now. Why? To heal all the money stories. That's what this Jupiter and Cancer energy is, to heal all the mother lineage, all the energy of healing the feminine relationship. That's why with Cosmic Nautics, we are looking at feminine astrology, and Ceres and the other ones that I'll be sharing besides Moon and Lilith, and the other ones that I'll be sharing, they each bring their own gift. And when you put that layer on top of your birth chart, on top of then even your human design, beloved, this is the real part of astrology. This is cosmicnomics. There is a science to it. And this is why I'm so passionate about it and why I'm doing it as a 2-week experience. So let me share with you a little bit more about this 2-week experience, why you want to sign up now, and what we're going to be doing. So a little bit about the Cosmic Nautics 2-week immersion is we're going to not only look at your birth chart, we're going to look at how you are being impacted also with the human design. Because again, human design is, if you look at it, if you know anything, what it does, even it shows you what is a body graph. The body graph is the energetics of astrology, because human design is based on astrology and the I Ching and Kabbalah. Many of the things that I studied as a Rosicrucian and in the Theosophical Society. And so many of those things are in human design. So that's coming at you this way. And then we layer that with the astrology, and then we bring in those 7 cis stars to amplify your chart. And the reason it's 2 weeks, beloveds, because I want you to see it during a time where it's not just centered around the moon, but you can really feel yourself and embody your chart, not just based on what the moon is doing or what the sun is doing, but allowing you to really embody it, because we know the moon and the sun are our strongest pulls. And so this is why working with the feminine astrology, again, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, that's the true energy of astrology. We know the masculine energy, the Ra, the sun, but the feminine energy is how we receive and are receptive, and how we lunifest, how we attract. This is how we build wealth. And so I'm inviting you to join me for this 2-week immersion experience of Cosmic Nautics, the energetics of astrology, the she stars, and really, really, really embodying your chart and soul story. We're going to look at you rewriting, because the other part of Ceres is she is here to teach you about rebirth. And I know I am going through it, and I have gone through it for this last quarter was one of the toughest. Not only did I move, my 2 cats had been sick. I'm in a new climate. I'm in a higher elevation. And so all of these things, what helped me stay anchored, even when I felt like I was going crazy, was cosmic nautics, knowing that the moon and the stars were doing what they were helping me do to stay anchored. And when we know how to do that, then we don't have to think. And it's not about our story from the past. It's not about our biology. It's not about our biography. It's about our astrology. And that's why I want to invite you into cosmic nautics, so you understand that we do have our own frequency, and it's time you learned it. This is the truth of astrology. And so I want to share with you just a couple other things. And so if you watch my lives yesterday and my stories, I talked about using jade and using the color green. The reason I'm using color green is because growth and expansion. Jade, I'm gonna really be talking about jade all in the cosmic nautics. Why? And a couple of other crystals as well. But jade is the Jupiter in Cancer vibration. And so I'll be sharing a little bit more about that. And that's why I'm also then using a green candle. It's my moon. It's my new moon. I was born during a partial solar eclipse new moon. So this truly is my solar return, right? And so using that energy of green, what am I calling in? Growth and expansion, not just in my heart, but in everywhere. So get yourself some green as much as you can for the next, I want to say 36 hours. I will be sharing the energetics and the prayers that should be used for today in just a little while. So make sure you follow me on Chart Soul Astrology on IG stories so you can get those. So use your jade, use your green. I'll be sharing more about why you want to use that and the power of jade. It is the most magical crystal you can use right now. And I want to wrap it up because I love color astrology like I love book astrology and all the things astrology. Again, this is energetics, beloveds. It's just not you reading about something that's happening today. This is why nations and CEOs of corporations, and even we know some past presidents of the United States used astrologers. It's not just, did you know, and most people don't know this, but the stock market, most people don't know that the stock market in New York City is also, they use astrology as well. Shouldn't you be using astrology, beloveds? I have been now to the pyramids here in Mexico of the sun and the moon, as well as the pyramids of Giza. They were all aligned with the stars, beloved, with the sun and the moon. You should too. This is how I live my life. This is what cosmic nautics is. So let me share with you. I love sharing the color astrology. Why? Because again, vibration. And a part of our wellness that I'll be talking about, beloveds, some of my favorite things, not just about wellness, self-care. Oh no, we're going to talk about astro adornment, where are your stars, and so much more. Because again, we know frequency of colors and all of that. This is why we know our birthstone, right? What is our birthstone? We know there is a frequency. This is all in cosmic nautics. And so the color for today is called gull gray. Now you see, isn't this the color of my shirt, but also even of my head wrap? But in the Yoruba Ifa tradition, today is also the energetics of Oya. And so I am wearing my purple to represent that sense of royalty, that and change, as you can see with the spirals here, covering my crown because it is a new moon, as well as this is a high frequency. As I said, this is my solar return. So let me share with you, and then I'm going to let you go. Please join me for Cosmic Nautics. You'll be hearing more and more and more about it. It's, of course, the link is, I will make sure you have the link there. But gull gray, it is receptive, loyal, insightful. If you were born on this day, you have the ability to touch people deeply, whether through your healing hands or unusual way with words. So there's more here. And so how this color benefits you, this helps you balance your emotion. Wearing, meditating, or surrounding yourself with gull gray helps you connect with others without losing your own spiritual way. So when we work together, beloveds, like I said, I don't just share with you astrology. I share body astrology. I share color astrology. I call book astrology, where your stars, all of it, because all of it is what we need to heal. It's not just about healing this experience. It's really about healing so we can come back into our higher self and reconnect to our starseed self. And that's what all of us are here for, to be at our higher self. And our higher self is a starseed. And so that's what Cosmic Nautics is all about. I want to take you on this sacred journey, how I have lived my life, how I have worked with clients for the last almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years coming up very soon. I think, yeah, 17. Yeah, it'll be my 17th year. Teaching people to use this. And my last client, where I showed out in Mount Shasta, not only did I help her find her home, I helped her move from the Midwest to Mount Shasta. And that was the reason that I was there. So I want you to know that Cosmic Nautics, beloveds, is your next best thing. And so I invite you, check out your series if you can find out more about her. I will be sharing more and coming up more. It's my birthday month coming up, so stay tuned for more. Make sure you are in our community. Follow me on Chart Soul Astrology on IG. Got so much more to share with you. This is my exalted season, and I can't wait to shine all of that love and light on you. Thank you so much all for joining me. This is my first live. I hope I did it all well. Thank you again so much. And if you like this, please comment, like, and share, and maybe I'll do some more YouTube lives. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. I do believe it is my 15-year anniversary exactly. If you go back to my very first video, I'm pretty sure it was on June 25th, 2010, and it is still there. I have never deleted any of my videos, so you can see how I have grown and gotten, wiser and really moved all around the world in my videos here on YouTube. So go ahead and watch it again. Take in all that information. Follow me on IG. I'll be sharing with you some prayers specifically that you should be praying for at this time with the Cancer energy. And so until next time, beloveds, I send you love and light. Thank you again so much for joining me live or later. And until next time, as above, so below, and keep on shining. Ashe.